Light is a completely positive quality. There's nothing bad about it, there's nothing sinister about it. It is overwhelmingly a good thing. It might dazzle you from time to time when you're out in the street, but it is overwhelmingly a good thing. I chose Share the Light as our Advent and Christmas theme this year for that reason, and because there has been so much around in 2020 that has been dark, or doom and gloom if you want to change the words, but keep the picture. Things that have caused fear and anxiety, things that have made us feel uncertain, and that kind of darkness has settled into our hearts and our minds. I've met some people who spent most of lockdown in bed because of that fear and anxiety, and while they're up and about now, they're still living with some of that in their hearts. Share the light. So how do we share the light? Well, you might like to download and colour in one of our stars. You can find them on the church website. Colour it in and put it in your window and brighten up your street a little bit with the light of Christmas. I've seen red ones, blue ones, silver ones, so you might like to give it a different colour and make your street a bit brighter. I've got one in the window behind me, and I've got sparkly lights around about it to make it even more bright and shiny, and hopefully it cheers people up as they walk past. I came across a chapter heading in one of my Christmas books the other day, and it said humility shines. And that set me thinking, so I wonder what that looks like. And I remembered a Bible verse which said that Jesus humbled himself. And I tried to work out how these two things connect. Jesus humbled himself. And that phrase runs all through the Bible story like Blackpool runs through a stick of rock. Nazareth and Bethlehem are not the most important or powerful places in the world. And yet these are the places which are involved in the story. Mary and Joseph are not the wealthiest or most influential people in the world. And yet these are the people who are at the heart of the story. The shepherds and the wise men and others who came to visit also all have a reason to be described as humble. The people around and the story itself all tell us something of Jesus humbling himself. When the angel comes to Mary to tell her that she's going to have the baby, he's given the title, the Son of the Most High, the Son of God. And that's the greatest title that anyone could ever have, really. And it speaks of his greatness and his power and all kinds of things that go with that. And yet, when he came, he was laid in an animal's feeding box. Mary is the wife of a village carpenter. And as his life went on, Jesus was mocked by people, he was betrayed by his friends, he was denied by others, and then the ultimate humiliation, he was crucified on a cross. Jesus humbled himself. So how do we know what that looks like? Well, actually, you know it when you see it. I've met people who are wealthy. I've met people who are important people. I've met people who hold high office. People that you would think of as important people, and perhaps in our society as the great, if you like. And yet they have been friendly, they have been looking to help, they have been open-hearted in terms of their conversation. They have genuinely been humble people. They do their shopping, they put out the bins in the same way as I do. You see humility and you recognize it when you see it. Jesus humbled himself, and so there's a quality there for us to live by. How do we let humility shine through us? Well, we learn to be modest, we learn to listen, we learn to care for people who are in need. We learn to have no airs and graces about us, because Jesus had no airs and graces about him. We learn to be humble. And I'm becoming more and more convinced that the most powerful way by which the light of Jesus shines through us in our world is by the way that we live our lives and by the kind of people that we are. That we learn to be humble people, modest, caring, and open-hearted to others. The world needs people to be humble, and the world recognizes the quality of humility when it sees it. And it's a good thing, and it's an entirely a good thing. And as Jesus humbled himself, so I think we need to learn that same quality of humility. And as we do that, then the light of Jesus shines through us into the world around us.